Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew with Family's Everything.
Until it's not. Oh,
Hi,
Andrew.
Aunt. I was
Hi.
thinking the other day, I want
What?
to make, we have some newer listeners, I'm sure.
Oh, join
Just so
us.
y'all know,
Oh,
we
and
don't,
I just wait a second. Go ahead.
oh, yeah, you got a jug, a gallon of coffee.
I just want them all to know I didn't add anything. It's just coffee.
Oh, that's good. You brought it.
Because
Thank God. Thank God. I will
I
say that
brought the coffee.
exactly. We say family's everything until it's not. It has nothing to do with us. It has to do with when we started this, we were reviewing Jersey.
Yeah,
And
it
right when we
started with
started,
Jersey.
and right when we
Yeah.
started reviewing Jersey,
Yeah.
it was right when they stopped talking, the
To each
family.
other.
But
Yeah.
for like 20 years on television, they kept going, you don't go against the family.
Yeah.
Family's everything. And
Yeah.
Joe and
We're
Teresa
thick as
literally
thieves.
hated each other
Hmm.
for so
The
many
whole
years,
time.
and we all got to watch them hang by a thread. So we just like to make a joke of it as like family's everything until it's
Until it's not. Yeah. So that's what it really is. And if we have new listeners, they might not realize that we're really an aunt and a nephew.
we are. We're not just stunt doubles, or we're not playing roles for
We've
TV.
actually been talking to each other religiously for 30 plus years
Very true.
since Andrew could talk.
No,
Anyways, this was called High Horse and Low Blows.
I don't see it. I just see Dorit chirping and being more annoying, and Kyle like just trying to
Ever.
move on.
I want to tell you though, you know, it's something I noticed in the opening that I hadn't noticed before, and I don't know why, that none of them have their families with them. And is that for whatever reason? But OC, you always have, pictures of them with their kids. Jersey is always the
Oh,
kids
you mean in the
in the
opening?
opening.
They
Yes.
all change a little bit, but I have a feeling that as their family dynamics change, like when there's like divorce or there's like
They
any of that
show a
stuff,
picture of them with their kids, a
they've
lot of
never
them.
had it in Beverly Hills.
Okay. All right.
And I don't know why that's the case, but I think it's because they've all been divorced too many times. Some of them are independent, some of them are family people. Beverly Hills is a different animal. Just as
Yeah, I
James
just
Kennedy,
noticed that they're, oh, James. Are
poor
they back
soul.
together or whatever?
I don't know. Allie looked way too happy in the pop photos. I was like, what's
Oh,
going on here?
maybe it was, I'm going to tell you, I have a elk on
Oh, I
today.
love
You know
that.
what? We could become real
I
influences.
love it
Like,
that the antlers are almost choking you.
I think we should start like putting in what we're wearing and see if we can.
I'm wearing a
Like,
Robert Graham
oh,
pullover
I love Robert
sweatshirt.
Graham.
It's really
Yes.
pretty pattern.
Yeah. This I probably got on QVC, to be
Oh,
honest.
shocker. I was
It's
telling
no
my mother,
exclusive
I was
brand.
telling my mother 2 days ago that you are freakishly starting to sound just like your mother. I was telling her how when we went to the
I
Bruins
am.
game, oh yes, we walked
Yeah.
around the concourse 8 times before we sat down just so you could see everything, which is everything my
Yeah.
grandmother would have wanted.
Yeah.
And without missing a beat, after we eat a bunch of food, whether it's a meal, snacks, it's always one a Hershey chocolate.
You want a little, I always have chocolate in my
And your
bag.
mother did too. And she was a
Always.
diabetic.
I probably am too. Who knows? I mean, how many people say that? My mom used to, oh, God rest her soul, used to say, I need some Diet Coke for a boost. So, good old days with
So
Oma.
does Dorit.
Dorit,
It's
Dorit,
just getting
Dorit.
annoying. I think we know we've seen your point, Dorit. We all see that you're stronger, that you have a mouth now, that you know how to use that mouth now.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's not that it's unnecessary. Kyle has owned the show for years. It's that we all know that, and
Yes.
you've proven your point, Dorit,
Oh, so
and
you
now we
think
just
some of
want to
it is
move
trying to take her
on.
down?
No, I just it's you know when
What do you
we've
think it
had some of
is?
these moments with other franchises where we're like they're still in Antigua for another
Oh, yeah,
episode. It's like,
forever.
you
Oh,
know,
like
like when
Puerto
there's these
Rico and the other
moments,
one.
it's
Yeah.
like, and honestly, Puerto Rico with New York has actually not been the biggest sore of the New York
Of the
franchise.
season.
It's
Yeah.
actually been the most refreshing
Right.
episodes. So
Yeah.
I think with some of them, it's just more that they get stuck on things.
Mhm.
And I'm okay if like for example, Uba is always going to be a hypocrite in New York. So like Dorit, if you want to always complain about something, fine, but get off the Kyle train. Like it's annoying right now. Like Kyle's also going through a divorce, which we keep forgetting.
Correct. Well, it's kind of like when somebody is going through something and somebody else is going through something, you know what
Mm.
I mean? And they only seem to, but that's a very common thread. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you my little holiday PSA,
Yeah.
everybody. Do not overshare your life with
Yeah.
anybody. Like I'm going out to eat tonight with another couple
Hmm.
and um I've already set the ground rules
With
that
your
do
husband or
yeah,
just
that
yourself?
no,
Oh,
with the husband.
the
Do
husband.
not
Please don't talk about the husband.
that don't share life. Just keep pleasantries because one, people don't really care, and two, anything you expose to people and if you share, for the most part, even if they're good friends, will just use it as
Yeah,
ammunition
they put it in
against
a
you.
little bit of like a little box, and they put it in on a nice shelf that they have lots of access to,
Yeah,
and they go for it every time they
yeah.
need something.
So, I mean, this holiday season, people, when you're with your aunt or your cousins or your sisters or your
Or your
brothers,
neighbors, you never
your
know.
neighbors, the people across the street,
Heck, the
whatever,
mailman.
anybody, just don't overshare. That's all
Yeah,
I got to say. That's my
and don't
PSA.
project.
And don't project and don't tell people what to do. If they're grown
Thank
people,
you.
they should have a clue what to do in life. And you know what? If you don't bring sprinkle cookies or a pie or
Yes,
something, don't go.
no
And when
sprinkle
you're there,
cookies.
if you don't get up and help, don't go.
And don't loan anyone any money.
Money, exactly.
I said what I
Because
said
family is everything.
until it's not.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you notice that Avi admitted, well, no, Avi didn't admit it, but Sutton gave away Avi's secrets. See, Avi would have been smarter if he started taking Ozempic and never told Sutton and just said, oh, I'm on a diet because she just told the world he's on Ozempic.
I mean, it's very obvious.
Yeah, of course it's obvious, but I mean, have a little bit of
It's
mystique in your life.
obvious.
It's obvious. That is a new word, obvious.
It's obvious. Oh
It's
my God.
obvious.
That's so obvious.
It's so obvious. I really actually love Avi.
I do
I
too, but I
can't
just
see
think
him
it's
as
obvious
I
how much
can't,
I love Avi.
I mean, like who goes and moves packages with the Birkin?
It was also so obvious how
Obvious.
uncomfortable Avi was with the Queer Eye cast on Watch What Happens Live.
He
He
was
was
so
like having
uncomfortable.
he was like sweating bullets. He
He,
like didn't know what to do.
well,
They
they,
should bring him on the show. They should like give him a makeover. I know it's normally like a straight person.
no, he doesn't need a makeover. He looks
Those
good.
glasses scream Ozempic. Like I don't even need to know that he lost weight on Ozempic because the way he's showing
Oh,
himself
the,
now is so fake. So it's like Avi, go back to the one loving
oh,
person that we thought you were, just a
oh,
skinny version. You're Avi
oh,
light, or you're 2% to Avi.
out Avi 2.0.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I thought it's very interesting that Erica is sort of, we've seen this on other series.
Okay.
That Erica is like, I went through a lot and nobody had any sympathy for me.
But at least she's not going, girls, what about
May,
me?
that's
I talked
Brittany.
about Jared and no one cared. And then my daughter, Kellyanne, whatever her name is,
Yeah,
you know.
right, right.
So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Erica's like, I think it's funny how when Erica says it, because she'll say it to one person, she'll be like, they talked so much shit about me and no one gave a shit about it.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, but there's different circumstances too. She was getting a divorce. The husband had embezzled money. He was going to prison. He had dementia. She had a whole other thing.
Yeah, and she also like because she didn't know the
She had
depth.
the earrings. She had victims. Now, if Mo had 500 apartments and everybody was living in squalor and they thought that they were getting a divorce to try to hide money, she'd have the same reaction of the public. It was
Totally.
don't we can't forget that Tom was accused of embezzling people's
Victim money, yeah,
judgments.
money.
Yeah, you
But
know what I
also,
mean?
here's the deal is that Erica for a while didn't know the depth of what Tom had done.
Of
And
course
so she
not.
probably just thought like, oh, he had one little misunderstanding and everyone's turning it into a big deal. And as the depths of it started to come to the surface, it became a lot different of a perspective for people. And she at that point was already defending him, but also
Mhm.
defending herself. And that's why I always say with Erica, I believe it's very similar to how Teresa was with Joe Giudice, is that they knew maybe things weren't perfectly by the books, or they knew that things maybe were like, they looked at their husbands as like the boss of the family, and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they took
which
care of everything, and that you were able to just navigate your life. And they didn't ask questions because that's not the type of relationships they were in. But I also think that in the bottom of their heart, did they think that everything was squeaky clean? No. But
no.
did they think it was what it was? No. So it's like you're kind of
Well, I
halfway
want to
in.
say something, and the people may or may not agree with me. If you reach a level of success in life, there's a chance, not that you've done anything maybe illegal like Tom, but the things might not be squeaky clean.
Yeah, there's a lot when there's a lot of assets, there's far more room for error.
But not only that, say the local construction guy who's building 5 or 6 houses at a time. If
Yeah.
somebody comes and says, "Hey, pay me cash for this or whatever, or I'll pay you cash, give me a discount." He's not putting it on the books. I
Or
mean,
or
that
if
may
like
be,
something needs someone just like needs something fixed up quick, they may not go get a permit.
yeah,
Like
you know
because
what
they're
I
doing
mean?
10 projects in town, they're like, I got nine permits. Why do I need a 10th? But it's
Yeah.
like that 10th one's the one you're gonna get in trouble on.
Well, maybe
Maybe,
not. You never
maybe
know.
not.
You
Or
know
you don't for
everybody
the
down
10
there.
first 20 times, and then on the 21st you do.
Right. Well, usually you don't get in trouble with permits, another PSA, until you go to sell a home, unless
Oh.
it interferes with your neighbors. Like I know somebody who put up a big deck and and they didn't get a permit, and then the neighbor got a surveyor because they weren't getting along anyways. If you like your neighbor, you just go over and you hand them $1,000 and say,
Well,
"Shut
then
up."
I hope that the parking garage next to Sonia Morgan's townhouse that's has all the scaffolding all
Exactly.
over it has the
Yeah.
permits. Because if not,
Hey,
Sonia.
you know, you had an old neighbor got in trouble for cutting down
Oh,
trees.
poor Bill, his soul.
Okay.
Well, he didn't do it.
Anyways,
He didn't do
now
it, but he left it. He left the mess
talk
for the poor
about, okay, so that's where
neighbor.
like anybody would just like, I don't need a permit.
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
not everybody is squeaky clean. I would say 4% of Americans are, and the rest 96 are doing something a little nefarious one way or the other. I hate to say it. Well, you put a shed in your backyard and maybe don't get a permit for it or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
That's what I mean. Whatever.
But can I ask you something about Dorit and Kyle? Like, do you think
I need coffee.
if we were not watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, like this wasn't a show and these people weren't famous and this was
Yeah.
just a friend group
Well,
where there was a fly on
famous.
a
Some
wall,
are famous, some aren't.
their reality, they're people of influence, they're
No, no,
pop
no, no.
culture
Kyle
people.
Richards is famous.
Yes, but my
Sutton Stack without the show
track.
is Strack is never
Okay, but
famous.
Dorit Kemsley's been on the show for a number of years, so she's famous now.
Now she's famous, but without the show, she wouldn't be
That's my
famous.
point,
But
though. So if you're on a
Garcelle,
show, why are we?
Lisa
This is
Renna,
that's not my point.
Kathy Hilton, they would have been famous.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah, okay, but
difference.
that's
Yeah,
yeah, but that's nothing to do with what I'm gonna
I
say.
know. I'm just
If
making a
we
point.
weren't watching their lives and they weren't people of influence,
Yeah.
I personally don't think that if a couple, like I think we have to remember that like a couple that meets each other, we have there. It's not like Kyle and Dorit were
Spit
childhood
it out.
friends
Yeah.
and then they got married and then their husbands became friends. They all became friends at the same time, all four
Yes.
of them, because they
Correct.
were all working on a show. This
Show.
was a job.
Right.
So it's like I don't think that when you I personally believe in this scenario, based on the context of what we know, I don't think prior to Dorit saying that it hurt her, I don't think Kyle was doing anything wrong with talking to PK at all.
I don't think she was doing anything wrong to begin with.
No, no, but I'm saying now that
If
Dorit
they
says it
were
hurts my
dating,
feelings,
oh, well,
well, then she has a choice to make. She can either continue to hurt Dorit's feelings, or she can talk to or she doesn't have to talk to PK.
yeah,
It's
but
one
we
or the
don't
other.
know what they're talking about. It
Memes. They're sending memes.
memes. I
Listen, if
mean,
people want to know, the other day at the Celtics game in the middle of the second half, my mother sent me a meme. I was sitting right next to her that said defense with the Celtics symbol in the middle of the game next to each other via text message. So
uh,
memes don't not doing too much.
okay, that means that she wasn't that interested in the game.
She was very interested in the photos we took because she didn't like the ones that didn't have her glasses on.
Oh, she only wants to be photographed with her glasses now. She thinks she
I don't
looks
know why she took
better.
them off. She just didn't think they looked good. So
Oh gosh, tell her you can fix that. Now, I have a question. Do you think Garcelle was correct in bringing up the fact that perhaps somebody arranged that? I think there could be some
truth to
validity
it.
to it.
Okay, but
Yeah,
here's my question. If
because
that's the
we
case,
know PK is having money problems. We know he wasn't there. He hired, okay, this is just a scenario that could happen. A husband could know that he's having money problems, and he could know that his wife has a lot of valuable items, and he could arrange for somebody to go in and tell them how to get in the house.
And then say, but
And
don't do anything to my wife or my kids or whatever. So you think that
right,
he even knew that she was there, maybe?
I understand. I'm not saying PK did it. I can understand why some people, knowing that PK is now having some gambling and
Oh, I
tax
get what you're saying, is that you're
issues.
saying that like if she were to go bring like a diamond to a pawn shop, she'd get far less than if they claimed it on insurance.
I'm just saying I can see where
I'm just
Garcelle
saying. I'm
would
just
question.
saying.
I can understand why some people would question that. I happen to have known someone, without giving any names, because there was no charges, even though we all suspected it, that they had bought a business with a very large inventory included in it. And that inventory wasn't selling, even though they had bought that inventory. And then just miraculously, the toaster oven was left on overnight, and the whole entire business burnt to the ground. And he got money for that inventory that never was going to sell.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah, and that was never proven, but
Yeah.
all of us in the arena of that of that business deal all
Hmm.
suspected it.
What else you got?
It's oh, what else do I have? Well, we had a big party.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
you know, Jennifer
but get
Tilly.
through it.
Oh, what do you got?
I already went through what I got. I just want to talk
Oh,
about how Dorit's annoying the shit out of me.
oh, that's what you have.
I can't stand her.
Okay. Did you think it was a big deal that Kyle? I thought first of all they all looked great. Actually, I'm going to be honest. I really didn't think that Bose looked good. I think it was too much.
Maybe. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was a little, but Dorit looked fantastic,
Dorit
and
always looks
they
fantastic. It's
were
what comes out of her
all
mouth that I got a problem
dissing
with.
her. And even on Watch What Happens Live, they complained. They thought it looked a little bit too safari and not
That's
enough
nice.
cowboy, which I didn't agree with. Now, interesting that Porter is showing up.
That who?
Porter,
Porter?
Porter. That is that is Sutton's daughter.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. I didn't
Yeah,
notice that.
yeah, I thought it was interesting. And isn't it interesting that Dorit already had those pants? They were part of her collection.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
And
yeah,
they
the
still
pants.
fit her. Now, let's get to the fight at the end.
Yeah,
It was the whole thing with Dorit and
yeah.
with Sutton. And it is Sutton volatile?
No, I don't think so. I think that
Oh, I think she
Dorit
is. I do
I
think she
think that
is.
Dorit just like this is like one of those perfect examples of Dorit thought she had the white picket fence and the beautiful house and the perfect life and the two beautiful kids and the husband and that they were never going to have any issues. And now her life's tumbling down, but she has a lot that she's got to clean up because she never was that empathetic to everyone else's issues over the years.
That's true. Yeah, that's
Unfortunately.
totally true. Now,
So it's like, it's a good lesson of like, be careful.
oh, well, let's save for the end. Because I know you want to wrap up. Um, Camille and Dorit.
Camille Grammar is an icon because she has no need to be on this show. No one even knows who really she is anymore if you're a newer watcher, and she's worth so much money. She comes on just to cause problems, and it's amazing.
I know, but do you ever feel like, okay, two things. Do you ever feel like they're trying to make Camille happen? Or is she just there to cause chaos, just
I
to
think
throw
if
a
Camille
bomb in, a
really wanted to
smoke
come,
bomb?
I think if Camille really wanted to come back, she could come back full time.
So you think they just love bringing her on just to stir the pot a little bit?
I think that she just goes to parties when she wants to and she throws stones whenever she wants. And then she walks away and she does her little like
No.
Granner, like villainous kind of behavior. And also, like, there is no comparison between what Camille went through and what Kyle went through at all.
Or Dorit, for that
Or
matter.
Dorit. Kelsey
I,
Grammer went to New York, went to Finding Neverland on Broadway, and came back with a girl.
and a baby.
And a baby. And we saw
And
Camille making
never
out with their family friend, like leading up to it because she knew shit was going down.
right. And they have never, ever spoken again.
And Camille totally brought the psychic crazy on to deflect her issues and make Kyle look crazy, but the psychic was right. It's like we don't give this enough space. We don't hold enough. Everyone's holding space for defying gravity, but the people are not holding space for you
I
will
know.
never emotionally fulfill him.
And it was true.
It was
So,
true.
okay, now I feel if I was Camille, I would never even look at Dorit again, ever.
Yeah, probably not. But she probably was being a see you next Tuesday. So
I don't care.
yeah, I know.
The C's she flew at her
Whoop, whoop,
were
bleep, bleep.
just so over the top. And Dorit has probably been a little bit what's the word
What?
I want to use? Desensitized.
Okay.
The word by that word because in the UK
Oh
it's
yeah, yeah,
used
yeah.
all the time like we say biatch.
Uh-huh. I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
they say it. So once you start hearing it all the time, it's very easy for it to flow out of your mouth.
Totally.
I think
Totally.
she said it about 8 too many
And the
times.
women are all like, whoop, whoop, whoop.
I mean about 8 too many times.
Yep.
And you know what I thought? Dorit, you're better than that.
I don't think she is actually. So she's my mess.
Well, yes, that's where I thought initially exactly what you just said. Dorit, you're better than that. And then I thought, guess you just showed you weren't.
And that's why she has so many different accents because she's always trying to be something different. She
Yeah.
doesn't even know who she is.
Yeah. And I thought there's always lines that you can go to, but you don't cross over.
Yeah, like her new tagline could be like, when you've traveled the world, you can pick up an accent at every stop.
I love that. Oh my God.
Well,
And
follow us.
I want to just say something, one more thing about Bose. She is right about how these people weaponize each
Oh, they
other's
do. They
words.
do
Yeah,
weaponize
yeah,
it.
yeah. She said it in such a beautiful, eloquent way. And I really appreciate her because she's self-made.
Yep.
She's doing it on her own. We've
And she
talked
knows
about
what's up. She's like, she's aware of it all. She knows they're all crazy. She's not going to deny that. She's also not going to try to be Miss America and be like, why are you guys acting this way? She knows exactly why they are. She's
exactly
them
why.
all, diagnosed them
And
all with different
she
issues.
already has realized do not how we started this is how we're going to end it. She realized do not overshare.
Do not overshare. Well,
Don't
anyways, follow
overshare.
us, like us, comment, subscribe.
Oh,
Give us a
and
little
we
Christmas
have
jingle.
yeah, jingle bells. There's no shows next week, so we
Thank
won't see you
God.
till
Need a
after the new
break from you
year,
lot.
everybody.
All right. Bye, guys.